Alright, so this is the first video I did is on my extreme BFS setup with like the low end trout stuff. That link will be below. And this one is like the next power up, I think. This is built on a 6'1" Phenix Mirage Ultralight blank. It's a very parabolic bend to it. This is what I use for my crankbait setup, by the way. And the reel on here is a custom painted T3 with a raised DIY BFS spool in there. It's one of the ones on AliExpress that are generally pretty cheap. I don't know what they're going for now. I bought mine a while ago, but I think I got mine for like 35 bucks. It's a decent BFS spool. Don't expect to cast super light stuff with it. That 1/8 ounce is very comfortable with it, but going less than that, you're kind of sacrificing because you have to turn the brakes on a little bit more and stuff like that. But it's great for me because this Rapala ultralight crank is it's a little bit more than 1/8 ounce, and it casts well on this. I could give you a shot of the taper on this rod a little bit. It's very parabolic. It's nice. I've cranked with this rod for quite a while. I'd say easily 3 or 4 years. With braid the whole time. And generally people don't crank with braid, but this rod's soft enough that it's perfect. I've never had a problem with fish getting off near the boat. Now with that St. Croix Legend Elite setup I had, well, I still have it. I was using braid on that when I first started using it, and I was losing a lot more fish. So I switched to fluorocarbon on that, and it was fine whenever I throw cranks in a pinch. I run a 7-pound fluorocarbon leader on here. One, because I already have 7 pounds, so I just use it, but it gives me good abrasion resistance where this thin braid will definitely be lacking. This is a 3-pound Suffix Nano braid I have on here. The length of the leader is I think it's about 5 foot. I trim it down, stuff like that, but that's enough that I can get like the invisibility that I don't have to worry about with the braid being invisible, which I don't know if the fish really care about that, but just something I do just to play it safe, I guess. But the big thing is the abrasion resistance, because this thin braid will just get tore up on rocks. Generally I bang my crankbaits on rocks and stuff like that, just like you would for bass. Do the same thing for bluegill. It's just downsized. And I've caught some big bass on these cranks too, so don't rule out bigger fish. This is a 7-to-1 gear ratio. It's, for me, I think with BFS, I like faster gear ratios because I don't have to overcome like the resistance of, let's say, like a 10XD or like a bigger, like deeper crankbait that you're gonna want a lower gear ratio. It has more than enough power, the 7-to-1 gear ratio, and then plus I already had it, so like whatever, I'll just use it. If you want to control your speed, you just control it with your hand. You don't have to worry about the power part, like I said. So if you do want to rip it back, let's say if you're hitting like a certain like flat that you're trying to hit, right? You can cast it out there, you can work your part, and then zip it back. That same can be said for all my reels that I have for BFS. Limitations with this rod, there isn't really that many limitations. I've landed pike over 30 inches plenty of times with this rod. It's kind of a waiting game. It's an ultralight with light line, just like anything else. But I've boat flipped so many big bluegill and small bass with this rod. I don't think a doubt in my mind that it'll break, unless you're being stupid with it. But very durable. It's almost like glass. I think they call it like a net V carbon or something like that. I don't remember off the top of my head, but it acts just like a glass rod, but it's more responsive on the cast. It's very nice. This is also a custom rod, by the way. I should probably point that out. I use a spinning reel seat on there, so like it's triggerless, but you can still get a good palm on there. That's good. And just some cheap foam handles on there. It's a pretty inexpensive build, for sure. Yeah, I don't know what else to really add on it. It's an ultralight cranking setup. Plenty of fish landed on it, and it's super sensitive. Granted, I've only used it with braid, but even when I throw the light jigs on there with the braid, you can feel it no problem. You can still get a good hook set too. Now, if you're fishing deep water crappie and you're using like mono or fluorocarbon, I'm not sure if there's gonna be a problem with the hook set or not, because I've never fished it like that, so I can't really go over that. But I know after I've built this one, like on the Tackle Tour forums, I know a couple people have got them built on similar blanks, like the same Mirage line, but maybe a one piece instead of this two piece one that breaks apart right here. And they really like it too, which I'm really glad that I was able to suggest this blank to people. I don't get paid by Phenix or anything like that, but yeah, it's just what I believe in. So if you have any other, also I kind of want to know other people's ultralight cranking setups before I end this video. If you just comment below on that, kind of what your ultralight cranking / BFS setup is. Really interested in that because I was thinking about building a longer one with maybe a glass blank. I'm not sure, but yeah, just hit me up. Also on Instagram as well, I'll be posting this stuff more frequently than here, so you can follow me on Instagram. That link will be below as well.